Number 13. The Amur leopard. The Amur leopard is in its lowest number of species of all time. According to census records, there are only around 40 adult Amur leopards left in existence in the world today. Instead of flourishing and contributing to their habitat's balance of prey and predator, you can see their skin worn by women over 35 at dance clubs trying to get lonely men to buy them drinks. As the vanity of man continues, more and more Amur leopards' distinct furs will disappear and, of course, will result in their worldwide extinction. Number 12. The Yavan rhino. The Yavan rhino is one of the most unfortunate victims in the pseudoscience concerning Chinese medicine. Even though there is no scientific proof that their body parts cure any medical issues, the Yavan rhino is butchered alive and left to bleed to death because of unfound practices. They are the most endangered of the 5 rhino species. Their horns are considered vanity trophies as much as for medical purposes, which draw both Chinese and worldly hunters who also sell them for over $30,000 on the black market. Just roughly 35 of them are left in the Ujung Kulon National Park in Indonesia. If the Chinese are any good at math, a population of 0 Yavan rhinos would equal 0 ingredients for their medicines. Not thinking too clearly now, are they? Number 11. The Saola. The Saola has only been seen on rare occasions, which may be why it's nicknamed the Asian unicorn. Looking like a crossbreed between an antelope and cattle, the Saola is large compared to its relatives of the cow and goat. It was actually recently discovered in 1992 and has never been seen in the wild by a scientist. The biggest threat to the Saola is hunters, but surprisingly not for hunting itself. Instead, they sometimes accidentally hit them with their vehicles. Infrastructure development and agriculture also threaten the Saola's habitat on the Vietnam-Laos border. Their population is unknown according to World Wildlife. None exist in captivity. They are the first large mammal new to science in more than 50 years and one of the most spectacular zoological discoveries of the 20th century. Nearly all that is known about the Saola stems from 6 captured in Vietnam and 7 in Laos. They unfortunately died under study and seem to die in conditions outside their natural habitat. Number 10. The Vaquita. As the world's rarest marine animal, saying that vaquita have a population is burying the severity of how much they're on the edge of extinction. With fewer than 100 left in the world, 1 out of every 5 vaquita are entangled and drowned in gill nets that are intended to catch another critically endangered species, the totoba, whose swim bladders are illegally sold for about $4,000 a pound. Just like secondhand smoke, the vaquita are even killed when they are not being targeted. Another reason for their fast decline in numbers is climate change, which affects their food availability and habitat along the Gulf of California. As long as this illegal international trade thrives, the vaquita population will continue to decline. Number 9. The Siberian tiger. Siberian tigers are the world's largest cats, hunted for their use in traditional Chinese medicine on the black market or even as trophies. Yes, trophies. So hunters can say, I took down an animal from a safe distance. Why from a distance? Oh, you know, cause the animal would definitely run in fear from me. Number 8. The mountain gorilla. The mountain gorilla predominantly live in regions across Africa, mostly Uganda, Rwanda, and Virunga. They have thicker and longer fur, which helps them combat colder environments. These gorillas go through poaching, loss of habitat, traps, killed for meat, lack of food, and even kidnapping. Yes, as in people will kill the mother and steal their offspring just so they can have them as pets. It is estimated that around 302 to 408 mountain gorillas are still alive. Due to their aggressive behavior, people have a misconception that they pose a great risk to their safety. But in fact, behavior amongst males are seemingly much more civil than humans. To maintain or challenge authority in their groups of hierarchy, gorillas will scream, stand tall and proud, throw nearby objects, bump their chest, and stamp their feet, all to express their frustration with one another, usually not resorting to physical violence, that is, which can be said more than our own politicians. Number 7. The Cross River Gorilla. Said to be the world's most endangered primate, there are only around 200 to 300 cross-river gorillas left, and illegal hunting and the changing climate are major reasons for the extinction and loss of habitat. They mostly roam along the southern Cameroon-Nigerian border. Drastic changes to the climate have also perpetually destroyed their surroundings, but even that has not stopped human encounters, as human population growth poses the biggest issue in preserving the region's biodiversity levels. This gorilla's relationship with humans has been so entwined with hunting that not much is known about their behavior because most observations are only from hunters. You see, with a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Number 6. The leatherback turtle. Clocking in as the biggest turtle found on Earth, the leatherback sea turtle is the most severely endangered of their species. Humans stealing their eggs and widespread illegal hunting are the two most common reasons this turtle is almost extinct. These turtles are known to be the most traveled of all reptile species. They migrate to the Indian Oceans, Atlantic Pacific, Canada, Norway, New Zealand, South Africa, and the Mediterranean Sea. The leatherback turtle eggs are also harvested for one of the most lamest reasons. Humans steal from their nests so they can make aphrodisiacs to stimulate sexual desire. Have they not heard of Google Images and Jennifer Lawrence? Number 5. The South China Tiger. Even though there are many variations of tigers, the South China tiger looks like what most people imagine a tiger looks like. Ironically, they are also the most endangered type and in the smallest numbers today. In the 1950s, there was an estimated 4,000 individuals. Today, their population is estimated to be just 30 to 80 individuals in the wild. In their animal kingdom, they have no predators. They are at the top of their food chain. Their main threats are habitat destruction, loss of food, and poachers. Scientists actually consider the tiger to be extinct, since there hasn't been a sighting of one in South or Central China for more than 25 years. Animal experts consider the South China tiger to be the evolutionary ancestor of all tiger species, so if it were to completely die out, their species would literally have no connection to their roots ever again. Number 4. The Yerdon's Babbler. The last known sighting of the Yerdon babbler was by British naturalist T.C. Yerdon in 1862. Fast forward 153 years, the babbler was accidentally found again in Myanmar, Burma. A wildlife conservation society heard its unique call, so they quickly recorded it, then played it back to the bird's own call, which attracted the birds to them. Talk about narcissism, Yerdon babbler. The team was able to take blood samples and pictures to further study why they began to appear, while hopefully rebuilding their habitat and possibly regrowing their population. Number 3. The North Atlantic right whale. Unknowingly tricking cruise passengers with chances of spotting them for years, the northern right whale is the most endangered of the whale species, with less than 350 known to be still alive. During the 19th century, southern Greenland was a hotspot for sightings. Unfortunately, these whales produce a lot of oil, and humans love murdering animals instead of investing in new infrastructure for alternative energy sources. Even the word right in their name comes from a deadly origin. They were assigned the word right because seamen thought they were the right whales to hunt, since their bodies would float when dead, allowing their easy capture. Number 2. The Sumatran Rhino. The Sumatran rhino breed is the smallest in size of its species, and unfortunately that applies to its population as well. There are reports of less than 100 left in the wild, known across Sumatra and Borneo in Indonesia. In fact, the only signs of their population growth is just 2 females held in captivity who have reproduced in the last 15 years. Poaching and the lack of breeding are their biggest threats. Their horns for Asian medicine treating mainly fevers and other disorders make them valuable to hunters, and a lack of male to female interactions make it difficult for them to breed. What's unique about the Sumatran rhino is that they're the only Asian rhinoceros with hair and 2 horns. And topping the list at number 1, the ivory-billed woodpecker. This elusive bird hasn't been officially witnessed since 1944, as if it went under the greatest bird witness protection plan with the FBI. Top bird watchers of the world consider it to be one of, if not the most rare bird in the world. For people born after the 80s, locating this bird would be like finding Tupac hiding in Cuba. Some people have claimed to have seen it in Monroe, Arkansas, but without proof it's grown to be one of the most difficult tasks. Cash prizes for capturing one can go up to 50,000 for anyone who can help researchers find one. Ornithologists, people who study birds, say that massive decline of this woodpecker is due to the vast deforestation resulting in its perceived extinction.